to What the Fuck Is This podcast? This episode we're going to be talking about...
Episodes 11 through 16.
15.
15.
I was about to say, I didn't watch 16.
No, you're right. Because I was thinking in my head,
Yes,
that's where I stopped. Yes. 15 through 15 of season 5.
Of Riverdale. And I'm going to take a long time on my book tea because these episodes, yes, 100%. But these episodes were hot fucking garbage.
We barely
They
have
were
any notes.
so hard. They were just
This is it.
they were just so hard to watch. And I don't know what was
Boring.
wrong with them. I don't know. I literally almost fell asleep like 3 times. Honestly, I think I did. And when I woke up, I didn't miss anything.
Honestly, though.
Like,
The only thing that I think I was excited about was Josie's episode.
I liked it.
Well, I was excited, but then I wasn't.
Yes.
I didn't feel like it did enough.
I just think it was pointless.
Yeah.
Like, there was no reason for it to
Yeah, that's
be
what I
in.
mean. I was like, oh my god, where have they been? And then it was like a whole third arc.
I just don't understand. But anyways, I'm your host, Monica, and this is
Miranda.
Woo woo, and you are listening to episode 11
Of What the Fuck Is This?
podcast. Spoiler alert for this book. I went on a trip and obviously I didn't want to carry around a shit ton of books, and so I just took my Kindle, and I have been.
We don't.
I
want
don't
that.
want to play Saw.
We are working. This is important.
This is my job. I wish.
I would.
And I have been reading I finished reading A Sweet Revenge, and it's a mafia romance novel, and it is so good and so fucking juicy, and it made me cry because I want that type of fucking love, which hit me up. Maybe don't. I don't know. If you look like Sweet Pea, Fangs, or FP, then hit me up. And you have a little bit of problems, not too major,
Yeah.
just hit me up. And we'll see if I respond. I probably won't. I don't respond to strangers. Strangers scare
I won't
me.
respond because I'm married.
Yes.
Please don't hit me up.
Yes. But we live vicariously through my Tamagotchis on Bumble.
Yeah. That's a fun game to play.
Yeah. Especially here in town.
Oh, yes.
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 Small town vibes. Anyways, back to my. Let me get started on my.
Yeah. Let me get comfs.
Because it is so good.
Ready.
So basically, this book is about this girl. She left her hometown, Philadelphia, 10 years ago. She left, and now she's like a professional thief, and she steals stuff from millionaires. Just like a millionaire will go to her and be like, "Yo, steal this from this other millionaire for me," and that's what she does for a living, and that's what she's been doing for the past 10 years. Recently, on her mom's birthday, she contacted her and was like, "Yo, happy birthday, Mom." Her mom's like, "Oh, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later." Later, she gets a text from her mom, and the text is like, "Hey, not gonna be able to talk today. I'll talk to you soon, sweetheart." And she's like, "What the fuck is this? Why would my mom tell me we can't talk today if we already talked earlier today? Like, what are the fucking chances of this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she remembers, she's like, "My mom has never called me sweetheart in her life. She's only ever referred to me as sweet girl." So she's like, something's wrong. And she had just recently moved back to New York after living in London. She's lived everywhere basically because she's a thief. She has to move around. But so she goes down to, she drives her car down to Philadelphia where her parents are. She goes to her parents' house.
Rooting around for food.
The lights are off. Everything in the house seems normal, but it's around 7. So she's like, "This is weird. People should be here. This is my mom's house. What?"
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, she checks all the windows and doors. Nothing's open. She breaks the one of the front windows, and she climbs in. Everything is like perfectly in its place. Their mom was very like clean and tidy. Like it would be weird for her, like for the house to be a mess, basically.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, nothing happened in here. So
He's so enthralled, my lord.
so she's just looking around the house, and then she gets in the kitchen. Her mom is on the floor. And she goes to check for a pulse for her mom. She can't find one. She looks around finally because she was so focused on her mom. She realizes she's like sitting in a pool of her mom's blood. And then she's like, well, where the fuck is my dad? She looks over. I'm guessing there's like an island or something. She looks over. Guess what? Dad shot in the head. Dead. So hers was, yeah, right? So she's like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck happened? And she just can't get over, like, she has her mom and dad's blood, like, all over her. And then, we go to this other story, like the mobster's story or whatever. His name is Declan. Declan's like, oh, this person, is supposed to be meeting us. He was supposed to go get this, like, deal done or whatever. Why didn't he go? And they're like, I don't know, he hasn't talked to us all day. We don't know what's going on. So he's like, I'll go check it out. He goes, checks it out. Guess who it is?
Who?
Her dad. Her dead dad was working for the mob. Apparently, there's like 7 major families in Philadelphia. And her family's always been in it, and his family's always been in it. So like, they grew up together. But like, I didn't know this. I just knew that her fucking parents were dead.
Yeah.
So he's going to go check out the house. He has a key. He gets in through the back door. And she's like, what the fuck? What if this is the killer? Like, trying to get me. She has a pan. She's holding the pan. He comes in. She tries to hit him with it. Obviously, she doesn't. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, did you do this? Because, like, it's 2 dead bodies and she's the only person there. And he hasn't seen her in 10 years. Okay. Now, he takes her home, cleans her up, whatever. Backstory to them. Declan and the girl used to be engaged. And she left before their wedding, like a week before their wedding.
Where'd she go?
To New York. She left. And they don't tell you why she left until like the very end of the book, which is why I cried. But, so she just disappears. And what happened? So they're trying to like figure out what happens. She's like, okay, I'll stay in town and all this other stuff. What are we all watching? I want to know.
Oh. There's tea outside now. Okay.
But basically, she's like, I didn't do it. We need to figure out who did it. She gets a call from one of her contacts, like the guy that like sets up the jobs for her. And he's like, hey, this person is looking for you. Like, watch out. She's like, okay. Aggressive.
Come on. Thank you.
So she stays at.
What has she done all weekend that's so this strenuous?
Oh, she's looking at you. She opened her eyes as soon as you started talking about her.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. So basically, you find out they've been together. They used to be together forever ago. They were gonna get married. They broke it. Like she didn't even break it off. She just disappeared.
Right.
And she left a note on like her pillow.
Right.
So then they're trying to figure out who killed her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, who the fuck could have done that, or was it just a random murder? So one of the other families, they have a daughter that's a detective in the police force. So she, like after the cleaners come by, they bring her in to see if like she notices anything else like out of the ordinary, and she does. Guess what she notices?
What?
A knife missing. And everybody's like, there's no way her mom would have like had a knife block that didn't have like a full set.
Right.
Like it just didn't make sense for her. So like they must have used it like that. And they don't think it was a robber because there was hesitation. Like for the dad there wasn't, but some of the cuts were shallow and some of them were not. So now they're trying to figure out who is doing all this killing. So she stayed at his apartment that night, and then she was like, no, like there's too much tension here. We haven't talked for 10 years. Like, no, let's go over here. like, I'm gonna go stay at a hotel. She goes to this hotel. They go to the funeral, and she meets her sister there. She has a twin sister. She meets her sister there, and she's just like, okay, how long are you staying in town? We need to figure out what to do with the house, all this other stuff, like what to do with our parents. And the sister basically took over the funeral and was like, I'll get everything because you don't know what they like, basically, because you've been gone for 2 years. And so, also the sister's a widow. It comes to play later, but the sister's a widow. They don't explain how her husband died until later, but it was like an overdose. Then what happened? There's just so much tea. Declan drops her off at the hotel, and she's like, my stuff has been moved. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, no, you probably just like left it there or whatever. And she's like, no, I left this closed, and now it's open. There's stuff in the closet that's missing, like all this other stuff. So she's looking around the hotel while he's standing at the door. She goes into the restroom. She doesn't come out, so he goes in and looks for her, like looks in there. And on the mirror in lipstick, it's written, "You're next." So now he's like, who the fuck knows that you're staying here? Like, who knows you're in town? She's like, nobody. I literally didn't tell anybody. The only people that know that I'm here are the people at the funeral and you. Like, that's it. All anybody fucking knows. Mm-hmm. And then her sister calls her and it's like, somebody wrote on my mirror, like, "You're next." Like the exact same thing, they wrote it on her mirror. So they're like, oh, they're coming after the family. And so they get like a private security for the sister, and then she, the main girl, she stays at their house. And this house is fucking fancy. Like, it's been in the family for generations, like 4 stories, like maids, fucking everything, like the most. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, she had 2 old like best friends, and so like they're talking to her. One of them's so mad at her. The other one's like, da da da. He's never had a girlfriend since you left. Like, yeah, he's had girls, but you're the only girl that's ever stayed in their house.
Oh.
Until this day, like he's never brought home another girl. He's never introduced another girl. Like, yeah, he had his like, he would go, have sex with this other girl, but that was it. And so she's like, fuck, like if I spend more time with him, I'm gonna be more like emotional with him, and I don't want to do that because as soon as like we find out who this is, I want to get it over with. Like, I just want to leave again. So they're trying to figure out like who the fuck is doing all this, and then she remembers that she did a job because that guy calls her back, and it's this guy named Peter that they think like is the one that's coming after them. So she thinks it's Peter. Her and Declan like end up working together and like trying to find out who Peter is. They find out who Peter is, and she did like a job where she stole something for him, and then I don't know what happened. Like nothing happened to that story. And then so her and Declan like they're being buddy or whatever, and he needs her to steal something from a guy, like this flash drive or whatever with information that he always carries on him. So she does it, and he gets extremely jealous that she's like flirty and like being with this guy or whatever. And this is the one when I told you about the phone call part. I'm just gonna skip over that because I feel like I've been talking for years now. But so that happened, and then he's like extremely jealous, and they come home. And like they make out in the parking lot because he finds it so hot that she was able to get this flash drive from this guy and like not make out with him or like nothing like extra happened. And so they do it in the car outside of the mayor's house. Ah! Yes. And then So and like this whole time her friend is like, it could be different this time. Like y'all can actually be together. Like y'all are both so much older and so much more mature, and like all these things have changed about each other. Like y'all can be together. So they do it in the car, and then they drive home, and she's like, the way that's written, he like basically like gets out of the car and like runs out of the car to like grab her so they can do it again. And I was just like, ugh! Like he was so excited to do it with her again. So then he brings her in to the house, and she's like, are we gonna fuck here? Like in the lobby? Like what do you want? Like, no, let's go to your room. So they go to the room, they're doing it or whatever, and then they finish and they're going to sleep, and the alarm goes off
Mm-hmm.
for like the whole house, and he's like, what the fuck, like, let's go see, like, I have to go see what happens, stay here in the room, we'll go see what happens, because there's other people in the house. So they go downstairs, Declan and his guy go downstairs to like check the house. She gets scared, she has her gun, because obviously she has a gun, she like goes out there, she's looking on out the balcony window, like, looking out. Guess what she sees? A fucking face. A fucking face.
No.
And it takes her a while to like see it.
No, that's like giving me the freak.
Yes, but she sees a face, and then the guy breaks down the window, or like the door, like the balcony door, and it's Peter. This fucking guy. And so
Okay.
he's like trying to like hurt her and like attack her or whatever, and then he like explains like why he's after her. So basically she did a job for his wife.
Yes.
And on the way home, the wife got into a car accident and died. And so Peter's blaming the girl because if they would have never met up or anything, or if she would have never stolen something for
That's
her, she
stupid.
wouldn't have died.
That is so stupid.
But basically, he's like strangling her and shit. And then Declan comes in, fucking mob fucking sir with tattoos on his fucking chest, comes in, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And so he points a gun or whatever, and like all this fucking shit happens. They like, she like, he's like holding her down, and like she hasn't told him that she's still in love with him, like Declan, and he hasn't said anything to her about it, but like they both feel it.
Yeah, they know.
They just haven't said anything to each other. And so he's like choking her or whatever, and he's holding the gun to her head and like going back and forth, like, because he's standing in the doorway. And he's like, the guy on top, Peter, is like, who do you want to die? Whatever. And she's like, no, like, kill me. And she was like, he was like, say it to him. And she's like, no, like, kill me. I love him too much for him to die. Like, he has way more going for him. Like, kill me because I love him. And then, basically, they knock out. There's a tussle.
Yeah.
And she knocks him out. She has the gun in her hand. And Declan takes over. Like, he takes the gun, and he shoots him 3 times. Motherfucker, dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, like, downstairs or whatever while everything's happening, and her friends come over. And Declan, like, before everybody gets there, Declan's like, so you love me? And she's like, yeah, but you said it too. And he's like, yeah, because I do love you, and I've always loved you. And there's never been anybody else that I've ever seen like this. Like, I love you, and I've always have. Nobody's ever going to replace you. And so I'm like, ugh. And then she's like, it didn't even bother me when he killed, like, that person. Like, it didn't even bother me. Right? And then, so the next day is one of her old friends' weddings. They go to the wedding, and they're having a good time, and everybody's like, oh, we have a bet that he's either going to propose to you tonight at this wedding, or he's going to propose to you in 2 weeks. We'll see when he's going to propose to you. Fine and dandy. And then he doesn't propose to her at the wedding, which, like, I would have been like, fuck you. Like, don't get engaged at my fucking wedding. And then they go back home. She has, like, bruises all over her. They go back home, and they find another note. Yeah. So they're like, what the well, actually, rewind. They go home, they're having sex, and then his uncle comes in. And they're like talking in the office or whatever, and the uncle's basically like talking shit about her and being like, no, she's too much of a loudmouth, she's just way too independent, she's not like the regular type of like mob wife you want, that she stays at home and takes care of the kids and cooks and cleans, and she's gonna be way too like up in her business. She caught it.
Yeah, there's no naps now.
But basically, the uncle's like, no, like, she needs to be like a regular fucking mob wife. And Declan's like, no, I can handle her. And then he goes upstairs and, like, oh, her name's Evie. Evie's packing everything, and she's, like, getting ready to, like, leave again. And she's like, no, like, he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, you don't understand. Like, this is why I left the first time. That exact conversation you had with your uncle just now, you had that same conversation with your dad, and you said the same thing then, that you could handle me. I am not a dog that you can handle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a man that's going to be treating me like this.
Yes.
Period. So I'm leaving because clearly you haven't changed. And if you haven't noticed that, then that's a you problem because I'm leaving. I deserve somebody that wants to be with me and isn't going to handle me. So she leaves. And then she leaves, and the freaking hacker that they hire, he finds the note. So he finds the note, and then he's like, it's not possible. No, I don't know if they find the note. I don't know what happened. But basically, he's like, there's no way that Peter was the guy that killed her parents because he was in a different state when this all happened. Like, they found out Peter's real name, and they're like, there's no way it was him. So they're like, what the fuck? And so Evie's left in the fucking rain, and they're all in fucking danger now. And he's like, fuck, like, I let her go. I don't want to handle her. Like, she can be her own independent person. I just want to be with her. I love her. I can't let her go this time. Mm-hmm. And so they're panicking or whatever. And then when she's driving, she gets a call, and it's Declan trying to tell her, like, yo, you're still in danger. That person's still out there. But she doesn't answer. And then her phone rings again. She's like, oh, whatever. She answers it.
Stop.
And it's the friend that just got married. And she's like crying hysterically. And somebody on the phone is like, meet us here. Don't call your boyfriend. Don't call anybody. Meet us here. And and then they send a picture of the friend, and she's like been like stabbed or some shit, but she's like bleeding out. And so she goes and she follows the address or whatever. And she gets there. She fucking gets there. And she like runs up to the friend, and she's like trying to untie her, and like she's like bleeding out, and her friend is an ER nurse, and she's like, no, like, you need to get out of here. I already know it's too late for me. Like, I'm a nurse. I know it's gonna be too late for me. You need to get out of here. Guess who comes in?
Declan.
Nope.
Who?
Her twin sister.
What?
Yes. Her twin sister. And she's like holding a gun, and she was like, you always got the attention. You know that I've wanted Declan for forever now. And when you left, I thought that was going to be my chance. And that's why I killed my husband. And she like explained the whole situation. And he was like in an accident, so he was already taking painkillers. And so she was like, yeah, so one night I just crushed a bunch of them and put them in his drink. And he overdosed on them. And that's why I'm a widow. But I've been wanting to get with Declan for years, even since we were little. She's like, you always got everything. It was just like the little sister.
Yeah.
But basically with all that. And so then they're like fighting over this gun. They're like fighting or whatever. And the sister's on the floor, and Evie is like holding the gun to her sister. And the sister's like, you don't have the balls. And she goes, shoots her. This lady has no more family. Her twin sister's dead. Her two parents are dead. But basically, the reason why the stabbings were so like shallow and stuff was because the sister, like when the mom hung up earlier. What the fuck was that?
You can remember? She just.
So when the mom had hung up the phone call earlier that day, the sister had walked in, and the mom told the twin finally that like, oh, she's been talking to her for a while, and the sister got into a jealous rage and stabbed the mom to death. And then she was like, well, Dad was easy. I just had to wait for him to come home. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And she was like, nobody's going to believe you if you tell him because I'm just a grieving widower. So he shoots her, or she shoots her, and then Declan comes in, and like when Declan comes in, she's doing like CPR on her friend or whatever, and they feel really bad or whatever. And then he finally explains to her, like, all I've ever wanted is you. You can be like however you are. I don't give a shit. Like, I just want to be with you. I love you, right? And then like she comes back to the house to stay with him like for one last night, and she's like, no, like I need to go or whatever. And he's like, I have something to show you. And this is what made me cry. So on the third floor is where his brother lives. And on the other side, there's like this old like it was just these old rooms that never got fixed. Like, his dad never fixed them. So basically, back when they were together 10 years ago, she found some old journals in, like, because it used to be a library. So she found some old journals of his great-grandma, like, from when they were first building the house. And it was like a detailed description of how she wanted that room to be and how she wanted it to be to a library and all this other stuff. One of her the great-grandma's diaries.
Yes.
And it explained, like, oh, how they wanted this, how she wanted this room to be for her to be reading, and exactly how she wanted it. So Evie told Declan, like, whenever this is our house, this is what I want it to be. Like, I want it to look like this in this very specific way, and we need to tear down this wall for this other room that's not being used, and that way, like, it'll just be like in memory of your grandma. Guess what he did in the 10 years she was gone?
Fixed it?
He fixed it! And then in like a glass box, he put one of the grandma's diaries that was Evie's favorite poem that his grandma wrote.
I'm crying!
I was literally screaming. And then, hold on, I have a picture of the quote because I was like dying. I was literally screaming. I couldn't tear down the last thing I had of you, so I rebuilt it instead. I made it into something new, something uniquely you, for you, even if you never saw it. Stop! Yeah. And then she was like, how the fuck did you, like, remember all of this? Because, like, down to the tiniest details, like the fucking green curtains and the book nook and everything. He had it, like, down to a T. Like, that, everything she said. And then she was like, so you do love me? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, you need to decide, like, what are we gonna do? And she's like, says something. She was like, you either have to, like, let me be me, or that's it. And so he, like, leaves the room, and she's like, okay, well, that's it. Like, I have to go. Like, she starts walking out of the room, like, to leave the house. This man comes back. Guess what he has?
What?
His great-grandmother's wedding ring!
Stop.
I was literally shitting bricks. And she was like, I thought, like, we were done. That's why I'm leaving. And he's like, no, I went to go get something. And then he's like, yes! I was screaming. I was living for it. And then, obviously, she puts the ring on, and they do it in the library. But, but just so good.
Yes!
That's the top. Like, he was like, I just want to protect her. And all this other stuff. And, oh, fucking evil twin sister over here.
Yeah.
When she left 10 years ago, he went to New York to look for her. And he got really close. And Evie called her sister, oh, her name is Nessa. So she calls Nessa, and she's like, I think I want to come home. Like, do you think that would be okay? So I'm stuck. And Nessa's like, no, everybody's still pretty mad. And then Nessa told his dad that they were using all the resources, all of the people, like the family's resources, to look for her.
Oh.
And so Nessa's the reason that he couldn't look for her anymore, and that she didn't come home.
That's stupid.
Isn't that fucking good? Like,
Yeah,
I was
that's
gobbling
so
that shit
good.
up.
Oh.
I mean, I move things around because it's hard to, like, go.
Right.
But the plot twist at the end, where it was her twin sister,
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Did she go to jail or anything for that?
She's dead.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. So much happened between then and then.
Yeah. But literally, I was screaming, punching pillows.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh. Okay. Well, that leaves Riverdale.
Yeah, let me find the author real quick.
No, you're fine.
Oh, by Megan Pierce. It's called Sweet Revenge, and then the next one that I'm going to read is Bitter Betrayal. And you bet I'm going to eat that shit up because it's about the hacker.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Riverdale. These episodes are not great, and
they're hot garbage.
we really don't think we're going to talk about it for very long because we hardly have any notes.
Yes, that's why I went so long into book tea.
Yes.
If not, I would have just done Mob. They had sex. They got married. Well, they didn't really get married, but you know what I mean.
Anyways, let's start with episode 11, which, let's get back in these titles because this is actually kind of fun. This one is called Strange Bedfellows. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I said the product placement?
Yes. Betty in the Smart Food.
Oh, yes, the popcorn. Yes.
And also her incognito, like, little man.
No.
That Penelope is a godly woman now. She's gonna start a ministry this episode.
Jason equals Jesus.
Yes.
Because that's what they're preaching about.
Yes.
Somebody decides to rob Pops. No.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, and we forgot to say, because we were, like, just talking about it, the episode 10 ends with Jug and the bloody handcuffs. And we don't know where Jug is.
Yeah, he disappeared.
So, anyways, but we don't start with that at all.
And, I said, what the fuck? The Thanksgiving family is back!
Yes! Dodger's family is back.
It's Darla and Dodger.
Yes.
And they're working with...
Shut.
I don't even remember his name. Archie's uncle, ex-Marine... Frank's old Marine.
And then, I just want to say
Nemesis?
this. Yes. Why did I think Darla was his wife, not Dodger's mom?
No, yeah.
When that reveal came about, I was shocked.
I knew
what?
She had like a couple of other sons too.
Yeah.
In
the Thanksgiving one. But for some reason,
I
thought it was his wife. Like when they came back on screen, I mean, the second they said it, I was like,
No.
But like, no. What? Okay. Anyways.
Jug is homeless.
Yeah.
Apparently, and then Doc is alive, and Doc is the guy that he made his confessional about at Stonewall.
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
This is when I said there are too many things going on in the show right now, because we have literally every single character has their own fucking storyline.
Yeah. And then Betty and Tabitha want to break up the manuscript because they think it's going to have clues in it to finding Jug. That didn't make any sense to me.
And then they call his ex and she comes too.
Yeah, that ex from New York shows up that sold them the mushrooms.
Yeah. And then you get the voicemail that Jug left Betty. That was fucking terrible.
That was insane.
Yeah, no thank you.
That was insane.
The guy's name is Ted. Because Hiram gets kidnapped by Ted.
What guy?
The army guy.
Yeah. And then Jug's other ex is giving, like, pick-me energy because she's like, I know Jughead the best, so I need to do all of this stuff and go all over the places.
No.
Okay, so, and then I just don't like that ex at all.
No,
okay.
And then the fact that she fucking drugs Betty and Tabitha? In what world?
Yeah, that's when the french fries come into play that I mentioned last episode, and then I was like, oh, wait, that's the wrong drugging.
And then she takes them to the fucking bunker, and she says, don't fight it, thanks for understanding. I'm sorry, if somebody I barely fucking know drugged me, you think I'm gonna... He's standing up.
He is.
He's trying to get your house clean for you.
Thanks. No, okay, and then what I don't like... Oh, good, you reset it. It's not connected to my Wi-Fi anymore because he does that, so I can't use my app. I have to reset it now because he keeps doing that. Pissing me off. So, yeah, this ex, and then, okay, I hate it that she's like, I need the manuscript because I can't have a book written about me like you did, Betty. I can't handle that.
I just don't understand.
Bitch,
like, what could it be so bad?
That was so good for Betty and her family and her life.
No.
You're lying.
But my thing is, like,
no one wants that.
How bad, like, and then later on he explains, like, what happened that night or whatever. I don't think he's remembering everything correctly because that doesn't seem that bad.
Right.
Like, what if she just doesn't want them to know that she was doing maple mushrooms?
I don't know.
And then I wrote, why is this suddenly a musical? They're fucking singing.
Yes. Yeah, and that was so weird because, like, it was a mix of people high and people at this ministry.
I don't understand.
What the fuck?
No. I was not here for it.
No.
I really like this for Archie, that he wants to wait to do anything with Veronica.
Yes.
For their divorce to be finalized.
I loved that.
I love that.
Loved that.
And I really appreciate him for that. But Veronica, she's sounded a little desperate.
Yeah.
She was very much like, let's do this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I told him I was going to sign it. Like,
Sorry, he hasn't. I'm going to. No, that was so weird to me.
And then we get introduced to fucking Palladium. What is it called?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be? Uranium?
But I don't think uranium is worth any money.
Yeah, but in this timeline,
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
And then I wrote, who is that guy that Hiram is talking to?
Mm-hmm. And then Doc recognizes Jug now.
Yeah, and then Jug is starting to talk about New York, so I wrote, what happened to Jug in New York? And then,
Yep.
this is the episode where Jug decides to hitchhike back to fucking New York.
Yes. And then this is when we just don't hear from Jug.
Nope.
I don't think
He gets picked up by a spooky truck, and then we don't hear from him again until the Cheryl art episode, which is, I think it's...
Oh, here, I have Jug is okay in episode 14.
Yeah. So 4 episodes later.
That's insane to me. Whatever.
I gotta go to the front of my paper.
So, that was that.
That was terrible. That was episode
11.
So now episode 12
Is titled Citizen Lodge. Because this is the flashback when we learn
Fucking
Hiram's
hate it.
backstory.
This is when it started getting hard for me to watch.
Yes.
I do not care about Hiram's backstory at all whatsoever.
I liked the idea behind it, but I didn't care.
It made no sense where it was. It would make more...
So,
But this whole episode is about Hiram, his parents,
yeah,
how
and
it came
so,
to be.
like Hiram's, Marco
Backstory.
Consuelos' actual son comes back
Yes.
from the Midnight Club, and he's
just-
playing Hiram, and then Hiram is playing his dad. Also, this, I feel like, cleared up that thing I mentioned to you on the night of the Midnight Club as to why they called him Hiram Lodge.
Yes.
And then, yeah, so he, like,
Yes.
changes his name,
Yeah.
like, basically when they move to Riverdale, because he's getting bullied and stuff, because his dad is just, like, a shoe shiner.
Yeah.
I think it's really weird that Hermione, like, named him, though. Because
Yeah.
he wanted to be, like, Hiram.
A lot. Because he's going to have a lot of money.
Yes! And she's like, you can do better. What about
Yeah.
Hiram Lodge? So she
Yeah.
basically made her married name.
Yes. But this whole episode, I was so confused, like, where it was supposed to, like,
Yeah.
tie into the rest of the season. Obviously, it has to do with the Palladium or whatever. And, like, his dad moved there because apparently there was an abundance there. And it could make him rich.
And then what I thought was really interesting is seeing, like, Hermione is here about looks and money. Like,
Yeah, I
it
put
was
Hermione
very
is a
clear.
gold digger.
exactly. And I feel like this and then the G&G night is what bonded them together and kept them together for so long.
Yeah.
Because they had the same dream to be rich and get out of Riverdale and be in New York. Like, they had this same fucking dream.
Yeah, because then at the end, it's like when Veronica's born and she's like, we need to do this for our daughter. We need to leave.
Exactly. And then I think it was really
Fine.
disgusting.
Fine.
I think it was really disgusting that the last thing Hiram said to his own father was, being your son is embarrassing.
Right?
At no point would I ever say anything like that to my parents.
Right?
They, especially, I would say that to Hiram. But his dad
yeah.
was doing everything.
Yeah. He literally moved them to a new town and everything. And he, like, basically the reason Hiram's dad died was because of him.
I was just about to say this. Because the mob, okay, so young Hiram starts working for the mob because he thinks being like a shoe shiner is like embarrassing, basically.
He's trying to impress Hermione.
Right, exactly.
He's trying to get more.
And making money that way is like embarrassing. He wants to make more and like be this like breadwinner and impress Hermione because she's a gold digger.
Oh, and her mom fuck Hermione's mom for being like, I didn't know, like, how, like, whatever, fucking, ugh, how good he was and all this other shit. Like, man, are you fucking kidding me? You were literally a fucking maid at a hotel. Like,
that sent me. Fuck that. That was so gross, so bad.
It made me understand a lot of why Hiram is the way he is, but I did not think this episode was necessary.
No.
Other than the
right,
what is it
because
called?
it's whatever it's called. I have no fucking clue. I couldn't even write it down.
Is this another word?
Probably.
Planetarium?
And when
I'm gonna say planetarium.
Okay, planetarium. I like it. Planarium, something. My mom and my sister, they were here and they were making fun of me. And I was like, we just call him Edgar whatever.
Edgar Evan.
Don't even get us started, okay? Okay. But
that's why me and your sister have beef. We still have beef this episode, Samantha.
Yep. So basically, Hiram gets his own father killed. He gets shot up in front of Pops by the mob that Hiram had started working for. And while he's getting ready to work his shoe sign stand, young Pop has to see it happen. I felt so sad.
So many shootings have happened at Pops.
Honestly, and the more you know. Hiram doesn't even seem sad at his own dad's funeral. That's when we get the stupid line from Hermione's mom where we're like, fuck you, lady.
Yep.
And then Hiram goes to see his father's murderer and shoots him while the subway goes by.
All
which
of
was like
that.
such a
Also,
random...
where is there a subway there?
I don't know.
Where is he going?
But this is early Riverdale.
But is this by the swamp?
I don't know. It's early Riverdale. Okay.
Oh, there was no swamp.
We're dissecting. We're going to in depth now.
I need a map. Okay.
And then
for the writers of Riverdale, if you're listening,
yes,
draw me a fucking map of how this town is built.
Please.
Is the swamp on the south side? Is it on the north side? Because it sounds like it's on the north side. Which, why would there be a swamp on the north side? People don't want to build on swamps.
Yes.
I just can't get over this one.
And then we learn that the prison has been a smoke screen this whole time to cover up the Sodale business because, well, we get a taste of it. It's not really the whole tea yet, but we know what's going to happen
teaser.
there. Yeah. And he needs the Maple Groves regarding the Sodale lie and smoke screen of the prison.
And that's why he wanted to get Reg to get the Maple Groves for him.
Yes. And then Hiram is going to see his father's murderer.
Oh,
because he shot up their friends or whatever when he was young.
Yeah, that guy
just mob.
Yeah, the main mobster just happened to not be there that night.
Yeah, but
and so for years he's been looking for him.
For this man who actually was in the back of the car and shot up his dad, and then I said driving Mr. Lodge, driving Miss Daisy, because it was Reggie in the front and Hiram in the back, going to kill this man.
Okay, I've hated Hiram for a long time, but at the end of this episode, I was actually proud of him.
Yeah, me too, because I feel like he finally redeemed his dad, who was working so hard for him, and I feel like in a way he kind of righted the wrong. Not really, but kind of. And, I mean, that's about it. Other than, I thought it was hilarious that Hiram was watching Hermione's Real Housewives episodes. But then he, got a taste of his own medicine, and I was like, good, you need to be humbled, you know?
I did like to see him emotional, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It knocked him down.
Yeah.
But I was also really proud of him for this episode because he basically fires Reg. And he's like, no, you need to
go be better than me. Yeah.
Yeah, go work things out with your father. He was like, if I could take all of this back just for a couple more weeks with my dad, I would.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting that all of a sudden Hiram has regrets.
That's what I'm saying.
But
fix your relationship with your daughter.
At the end of the day, yes. That's why I think it's unbelievable. Is he's building a terrible relationship with his daughter. Anyways.
But I hate this episode. I did not care for Hiram. They could have just showed me the last chunk. That would have been fine.
Yeah. So then, episode 13, which is
13
Reservoir Dogs.
I kind of figured because it was about Archie.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I couldn't stand it.
No, hated it.
We find out that Betty is no longer part of the FBI, or I just don't remember that at all, because she is trying to look for the trucker that, once again, back to this storyline,
The truckers
trucker
are back
storyline.
all of a sudden.
Betty's trying to like flirt with this trucker, and he's like FBI. She's like, I'm FBI. What the fuck are you talking about? And then her ex shows up.
Glenn comes around,
and
he's
he's
healed
like,
from his stab wound.
Yeah, he was like, you're no longer a part of the FBI. Hand everything in. But then she doesn't hand in her jacket.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Cheryl is recruiting people for the ministry church thing.
Mm-hmm. And then the PTSD starts
Mm-hmm.
with Archie and his friend that lives with him.
Yeah, Jackson.
Yes.
And they get a dog.
Yep. The T for this one.
This is so random, but I'm putting this out into the universe before my sister can. So the phone Veronica is talking on, love it, first off. Like, it was random.
What? Because I picked it up too. What fucking time is that?
So
from?
random. But my grandma, my Nana, not my Nana Rose, but my Nana, I call her Nana, she has a phone exactly like that. And me and my sister are like, this sounds so like morbid, but like the day it's like time to clean out her house or whatever, we're like, it's a race to who can get to Nana's house first because we both want the phone so bad. And so I'm speaking it into the universe on my podcast because my sister doesn't have a platform, even though mine is like this much bigger, to claim the fucking phone. It's my phone. I'm gonna get it. But
you need to ask her when she got it.
Yes. Oh, I should.
Because that would help our timeline.
That would help our timeline. Okay, I will do some investigating for you all. I would text her now, but she doesn't really answer her phone, and it's kind of late. Anyways.
Kev wants to get back with Fangs, and then we find Fangs with none other than motherfucking Moose. Not Goose.
Like, shut the fuck up. You're lying to me.
Mm-hmm. And his long hair, that look was not.
No. Cut your hair.
I was like, is that really Moose? Is that really him?
No. And Reggie wants to cross Hiram now because he was like fired, but
yes.
I don't get that.
I don't get it. But I put Reg being a finance guy makes sense.
Yes. I agree. I agree entirely.
That makes a lot of sense for me.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
And then I'm trying to figure out fucking Pearls and Posh. What? I don't understand. I thought they were trying to find investors for her jewelry store. Now all of a sudden they're a fucking
stock traders.
They're an investment firm.
What?
Like, where did this come from? Like,
I can't breathe. It is so fucking hilarious.
I was so lost. This is when I said, like, I thought I might have fallen asleep and don't remember anything. But if you're confused, as I'm confused, then
I agree. All of a sudden, and they're working out of her jewelry store, like it's some sort of like stock trading floor.
Also, did they ever get back that opal thing that she needed?
Yes.
I don't remember. Anyways.
We didn't even talk about that.
Because it was stupid.
It was so stupid.
She traded her dad's safe for her dad, and then they ended up keeping all of it.
Yeah, and the opal, I'm pretty sure. They get it back. Now we find out that the dog also has PTSD because it was part of the dog fighting ring. What doesn't Riverdale have? Now we have a fucking dog fighting ring?
We have a dog fighting ring, a jail people can break out of, a swamp that dead bodies are in.
I said dog fighting ring, man. Like, what? Hello?
Not in my house.
Okay.
There's too many things going on.
And then we get the full reveal that Sodale has been fake this entire fucking time. I feel like this is the juiciest part of these 5 episodes.
Yes.
Because
it explains a lot, because like a lot of the beginning of this season was focused on the Sodale projects.
And to me, I'm like, where is Sodale? It's been 7 years.
Yeah.
And they started that at the beginning of season 1. That's what Andrew's construction was doing with Hermione while Hiram was still in jail.
I thought they were building the jail.
This is so much long. Well, yes, but it was still called the Sodale Project. Like, this has all been a part of it. Yes, they were building the prison. You're correct.
I didn't remember that.
But even back then, they called it the Sodale Project. So this has been going on for so many years. Where is Sodale? Well, now we know. It's fucking fake. And we find out it's fake from Reggie. This is how he's going to cross Hiram. And him and Veronica start calling Sodale investors to get back at Hiram. So and that is the only juicy thing that happened. You can turn off the podcast now. Please don't, because we love you. But you could, and you could listen to next week's episode, and you would know everything that's happening.
Yeah. But basically, the Sodale was a cover-up because Hiram is using the investors' money to find Planetarium.
I said Platinarium.
Platinarium. That's what it is. Platinarium. That's what I'm going to call it. But yeah, he wants to look for Platinarium because apparently his dad was right. And there is some in the town. And so now he wants to find it so he can, like, avenge his father's death, I guess, kind of in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then they do, like, a Coyote Ugly type of thing at the White Worm.
And someone tells someone, because I didn't write down who, in service you'll find peace. Ma'am, you're basically working in a strip club. I think it was Betty telling someone that. You're basically working at a strip club.
But they Coyote Ugly the bar, basically, and they're dancing or whatever. And then they find blood in one of the trucks. And then the hand signal that Alice does to Betty, she's like, what does that mean?
I love you too.
I don't understand.
Like, I can think of a sign language where you're like, I love you.
And then at the end of the night, they're like, oh, we found nothing. Betty still gets in the fucking, like, a truck with a random guy because she sees blood on the fucking handle, and all she does is text her friend.
That's what I was about to say. She sends one fucking text, like, that will save me. That will get me saved. Okay, what if the bitch wasn't looking at her phone?
That's what I'm saying. She could have at least said the location.
Yeah. Location pin. Share it. The trucker was very
like, follow me. She's like, oh, track me. How am I supposed to track you, bitch?
Yeah, like literally
because they're already pulling off when she's like barely making it to the door. What are you talking about?
So, but the trucker was very creepy, but like
he says something like, oh, I like seeing the life fall out of someone's eye or some shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me take a leak. And he comes back around with a knife. And Betty beats him on the floor. They fight or whatever. And then he comes out from around the way. And he has a fucking chainsaw. She gets back in. She hops out.
Why did she turn her back to him, though? Like,
I don't understand.
And then she's like, hey, help me. I need help.
Yeah,
and then
I don't understand.
Bam, from the back of the head.
Why? I don't understand that. You worked for the FBI. You've been hunting fucking serial killers all your fucking life.
TBK already captured you.
How
stupid are you?
Yeah, and then he's like chasing her again with a chainsaw. And bitch has perfect aim. She fucking throws a wrench at him and boop, right on the head.
Bam, out, dead. That's what kills my man.
But he's not dead.
Oh, that's right.
He's not dead.
No, and you know what? Let's not give him to the FBI, who can do the job. No, we're gonna chain him up in the fucking shop class in the high school because that's a long weekend. You're lying. I know you're lying.
No.
This is a fever dream. No, it's Riverdale.
Oh, and then there's
that's what I'm gonna call it. The episode. This is a fever dream. No, it's Riverdale. Okay.
And then they're singing again.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So I put Wolf of Wall Street and religion, question mark?
Yep. And then poor fucking Kevin gets a made-up position at the ministry because Cheryl knows he's sad, and then they're singing. That leads to the singing. Poor Kev. Like, could he not just for once get an actual fucking job that means something to someone?
I don't feel bad for Kev. Well, mainly because I feel like he's like the most extremely gullible out of all of them.
I know, but I think that's what makes me sad for him. Like, he doesn't
like
realize...
he's hopeful, but it's like, dude,
yeah.
come on.
Anyways,
but at this point, we never talk about the escaped convicts again, and Penelope is still out. Fucking people are still out.
But Penelope,
she said she was about to get out, but okay, you still have to go back in and then
Yeah.
get back out. And then you're going to get more time because you escaped
Yeah.
prison.
And what happened to Charles and Chick? Did they go back?
Charles, I don't know.
Did
I know Charles died.
On that?
I think Charles died.
I thought she came back and was like, he's okay.
I don't fucking know.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking know.
Okay. And then, are you ready for the end?
For this one?
Yeah.
I just put Archie's got PTSD.
Yes, that's my last one, is it as Archie finally gets a hold of this person that he's been trying to get a hold of for Jackson. He's like, I'm trying to get a hold of you for Jackson, that's why I've been calling, but I also think I need help. And I was just like, oh, but like, yes, you know, like, good for Archie, because this is one of the best things he's ever done for himself, is like, also be like, I am also in trouble. Anyways.
I just think it's hilarious that this whole episode is supposed to be about Archie and the PTSD and the dog PTSD, and all we talked about was everything but Archie.
I know, but it was because it wasn't very, what the fuck, like, yes, everybody has PTSD.
I get it.
Okay, episode 14 is called The Night Gallery.
This is the one where the artist...
The art critic lady, no.
The architect lady?
No, I said art critic.
Oh,
instead of critic, but
art critic lady. Critic comes back. And
she won't be sacrificed.
I forgot about that. But she comes back and she has all these paintings of basically everybody, like the core four. And she's like walking this lady around and telling her, everything that's behind the story. I think the story behind the painting.
I thought this was stupid. But
I did too.
Okay.
I thought this episode was gonna end like it just took forever.
Yeah.
This was one of the longest episodes I've ever watched.
Yeah. Cheryl asks Archie to put a team together of his construction guys to mine the planetarium for her.
Planetarium?
Yeah.
Because apparently there's old mine shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Did they test them beforehand? No.
That's why he wants the maple groves.
Mm-hmm.
And crazy shit is happening in these mines. Can we just talk about the mines and then we circle back?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to get this out.
Oh no, but I wrote Archie is now a miner.
Yeah.
Like,
him and a construction crew can now mine.
Nope.
You're fucking joking me. But basically, right before or right during this also point of this storyline, Archie goes to his like first therapy session to start getting help.
And he doesn't want to take any type of pills at first.
But she persuades him to and gets him something. Okay, but why did she just have a whole fold?
That's what I'm saying. That shit, like, I was like,
what the fuck?
I can't do that shit. Like,
nope.
You have to go to the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
And so, he starts taking these pills. Basically, the mines are full of carbon monoxide. Dioxide?
Yes.
Which one is it? Monoxide?
Monoxide.
Okay. Carbon monoxide, and they start like seeing things. But Archie goes and yells at the therapist, saying like, "You did this to me by giving me pills."
Yeah. And then this guy gets up and he's like, "You need to leave."
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. And then everybody is seeing things. But what are they seeing? What are they seeing? Are they seeing the war? No, they're seeing the fucking Mothman and aliens. You're lying. I know you're lying to me.
I said
right now.
The Mothman is back. Where is Jug? How is the Mothman back, but Jug isn't there? That was his whole storyline.
So many questions. Mm-hmm. This is not even funny to me.
Nope.
I can't even talk about it. I can't even get my thoughts in a straight line to talk about it.
I think the only reason
no sense.
Okay, so I think the reason why they tripped out about it, or like when they were like high, basically, why they saw it was because before they went down there, they had talked about the old miners and how they saw the alien. So it's like already on their mind.
I fucking guess.
And they go down there. And
but like you're saying, why did the writers all of a sudden write this and Jughead's not there?
Yeah. But it does make sense that the old miners died of cancer then. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what if they were all just tripping and they just made it up?
I think so. Okay.
But we do need to talk about the fact that fucking Reggie's in there, and he's a miner too now.
Oh, yeah. He's taking any fucking job he can get, because Hiram fired him. Mm-hmm. And then basically, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I have the hiccups, but I want to say one last thing, and then we can move on. They confirm that there's gas down there, the carbon monoxide, and Cheryl says, quote, "That's annoying. How can we fix it?"
Just get some canaries in the meantime.
Yeah. This whole plot line of her basically not giving a fuck about their health.
Yeah, no.
While they're doing something she can't be bothered to do. Bitch, you got me fucked up.
Oh, and then before they go in, she's like, "Let's say a prayer."
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we can move on from the mine. Or at least that whole part of the mine.
No, that's all I had for that mine too.
Yes.
But before that, I did write, why does each character have its own storyline? It's too much.
There's a lot.
And I don't like it. Like, there's too much I have to keep up with, and I think that's why I hated these so much.
Yeah.
Because it explained nothing that was, like, actually fucking happening.
No.
There's, like, new storylines we're building on top of these.
Exactly. Okay.
Betty is holding the trucker guy hostage at the school, and she asks Alice to help, and she's like, he doesn't see her as a human. You need to go and talk to him, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I killed your daughter. I don't give a shit, bitch. And then so Betty goes dark Betty, and she's like, I'm going to chop you into little pieces, da-da-da, if you don't tell me where she is. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you anyways. And she walks out of the room, and you get flashbacks to when she was held hostage.
By TDK.
And everything he said, she said word for word to that guy.
Yep.
And then she comes back. Homeboy killed himself.
He's dead. He choked on his own tongue.
He cut off his tongue.
And choked on it.
How do you bite your tongue off that? No. I
don't know. Do you know the amount of times I bit my tongue?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it doesn't go anywhere. I don't even think I've ever drawn blood.
But
I bit that shit hard.
It's not that serious, Miranda.
No, it is!
No, but I get what you're saying.
Bite your tongue off!
But it's that same thing where they're like, oh, you can bite your finger off.
Right.
Because it's like a carrot, but your body won't let you. So how the fuck does your body let you bite off your tongue? So a muscle gone. How? And then you choke on it?
I don't know. Are you choking on the tongue or the blood? That's what I don't.
I think it's the tongue, but that doesn't make sense because your blood is liquid. It should go down with ease, sir. It's like a hard pill to swallow. Like, come on. Also, you're basically like, that's like the worst way to go. Like, I feel like your body would do everything in its...
Yeah.
Like,
to throw up, to do all of this.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
And then this is where I wrote, Jug is okay? Like, because I think he comes back. I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't think he comes back.
But we get some sort of clarification that, like, he's okay in New York.
Yeah, because it goes to him, and then we find out...
Yes, that's what happens. We go to New York... And that's how we know he's okay. And then we start learning about his backstory. Okay, you talk about it.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Well, I still have to go back to
I know. But
the guy killing. So Betty goes to Alice, and they're like talking about how the guy killed himself. Mm-hmm. And Betty believes it's a whole family hunting. That it wasn't just him. Because he was talking about our family sees them as prey.
Okay.
And then we go to Jug, and Jug is explaining this whole story of like what happened in New York and why he had to go back.
That's stupid.
And then we basically find out that Betty was Jug's muse.
Right.
But in this, he's fucking explaining the story about the Rat King.
Yes. This...
I fucking hated it so much.
Stupid.
Yup.
So terrible. He fell into a sinkhole.
Sinkhole de Mayo. I watched This Was the End recently. I apologize.
Oh my god.
But basically... He fell into the sinkhole and got knocked out, and then he was high and drunk. And when he woke up, he was covered in wraps, and he couldn't even scream because he thought a fucking rat was going to get in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Stupid.
That's it.
I can't stand this at all.
And basically, we find out that Joe realized then that he was lonely, and now he's in AA, which, like, good for him.
Good for him. He needs it. Mm-hmm. Episode 15, I don't even have to look at it.
How does episode 14 end?
Basically,
Cheryl shows the last painting, and it's her and that girl.
And she wants one last night
together before she leaves.
Yep.
I think she's gonna kill.
I don't know.
Sacrifice.
So episode 15, I don't even have to look at it to know the name. It's the Pussycats. I did not like this episode either. I was excited at first.
Yes, but
And then it was terrible. Spoiler alert! The episode is terrible.
I think it's terrible because there was no reason for it.
Yeah, came out of nowhere. At least, okay, I agree that I didn't need all of the Hiram stuff, but we did need it.
Like that one makes way more sense.
We just didn't need a whole episode of it.
Yes. This one,
Came out of nowhere.
no. I would love for her to have like popped by in like one episode.
It felt like a spin-off. Like they're
Yes.
starting a Pussycat show.
Yes. I like by the end of it, because also at the very, very end,
Yeah.
like, what is this?
No clue. I have the hiccups.
Okay.
I'm fine. I just have the fucking hiccups.
I put the Pussycats are back, question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
Josie is famous.
Yeah,
And
very
then I wrote,
famous.
is this episode supposed to be a musical? There's a lot of singing in this. And
Maybe.
I literally was going to text you and be like, I can't watch this. There's too much singing.
There was a lot of singing. Now I want to look. Hold on.
I will say the one part that I did enjoy about this episode was Josie standing up to Hiram.
Yes.
And then the guy at the hotel being like, listening to her and not to him.
Yes.
That to me, I was like, yes.
I think this was this season's musical number, actually.
Ugh. Fucking hate musicals. Stop doing it. Nobody wants it. If I
So-
wanted to listen to people singing, I would watch fucking Glee.
Yes.
Stop
Agreed.
doing it.
So, Josie the star, Melody and Valerie stayed friends. Melody is a writer, and her book is going to be a movie, and they want Val to star in it, but the people making the movie don't.
Didn't you say it was Tyler Perry making the movie?
Something like that, I think.
Allegedly.
So,
I didn't write any of this down because I hated this episode.
I know. Basically, I just wrote the beginning part so I remembered what was going on.
Yeah.
Josie's back in Riverdale because, and I said she says 5 lines before she starts singing.
Oh, you know who I did
What?
love that made a comeback in this episode? Sweet Pea!
Oh,
I was
yes!
screaming when he came
I want
back.
to talk about that so bad. But basically, she's taking her father's death really rough, and came back. I'm sorry, you gotta put up with it, guys. I don't give a fuck. I can't get rid of them.
We're almost done. We're almost
I know. But except I'm the what the fuck news.
Oh.
So we'll take a break.
Okay.
And I'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
She's taking her dad's death really rough. He died.
Also, and then her
Sad.
mom shows up, and she's like, I just knew you were gonna come here. What do you mean? What do you mean? Ugh.
But yes, and then Josie, I quoted it, when she stands up to Hiram, she says, "Nice to know you're still a little bitch."
Oh, yes.
Loved. So she can record music at Riverdale High only if she teaches it. Like, she teaches one class, one day. And
Literally,
she's like,
that's
I
it.
gotta go on the road.
Yeah. Oh, and then the fucking, when they're singing at Pops, what the fuck is Tony doing there? She's supposed to be on fucking bed rest.
Yeah.
What is this bitch doing at Pops?
Exactly. I didn't
She's like-
understand that.
She's like, oh, I thought this was gonna, like, make my labor start.
But then,
You could have killed yourself.
we love it for her because her being back allowed time for the Old Navy promo. Did you know they have the cutest baby jeans? Shut up. You're playing right now.
And I like how it's like it cut back from commercials, or like where it's supposed to come back from commercials, and it's the first thing you see is her pulling the pants out. Like, dude, no.
I was worried Archie was gonna try and get with Josie now too, but she's gonna get with Sweet Pea, and I
This kind of sucks.
fucking love that.
Yes, I love them together. I have something to say about Sweet Pea, but I don't want to tell you until you're done with this, because you're not gonna be able to look back.
Okay, that's fine. And then the only other thing that's happening in this episode that is furthering, in my opinion, like the actual Riverdale storyline, is someone that is friends with Veronica wants to franchise Pops. But Tabitha doesn't like it at all.
Mhm. I said, who is this
No.
new girl?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And then I wrote, Tony has her baby at Pops, and it's a boy.
Yeah.
And Cheryl fucking helps. The fuck does Cheryl fucking know about having
Yep.
babies?
Yep. The coroner was at the concert.
Oh, that was hilarious. He was like, oh, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, of Josie.
What's his name? Dr. Curdle?
Dr. Curdle Jr.
Curdle Jr.
Um,
And at the very end, we find out that Josie's dad
Yes.
was into like voodoo and shit.
wait, we forgot to say, the baby's a boy, like you said, but she names it Tony.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay,
Anthony.
Anthony after her
Yes.
grandfather, but they
I
both,
love that.
both go by Tony. Okay, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, we find this random fucking guy comes up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's like, I used to work with your dad when we were on the road.
Yeah.
And he used to be into voodoo, and I don't know if he really died. Like, if he really had a heart attack. You should go check it out.
He was mixed in bad things: debt, petty crimes, and voodoo.
And then they're like, what is her mom saying? Oh, yeah, we're from Riverdale. I don't think any death in here, no death here is normal, or like something like that.
Yeah.
No regular death is a normal death or whatever.
So then I wrote, are they gonna solve this murder? Is this a spinoff? Like,
I thought it was going to become a spinoff.
anyways, those are my
100%.
notes.
I
But-
did not like this episode.
I didn't like it either. Now I want to hear what you have to say about Sweetie.
Okay, towards the end, where he's asking if he can go on tour with them. I like, because I was like doing other stuff, and so I looked over. Why does he look like Morty from Rick and Morty?
Oh.
Wait, am I saying the right one? Morty, the like younger one, the kid.
Oh,
Which one's a kid?
I think that's not Morty. Morty's the doctor thing.
The
Right.
doctor thing. Okay, is it?
Well, he
Rick? I don't
was
know
the
which.
doctor.
You know which one I'm talking about though. The,
Yeah.
The kid, not the doctor.
Yeah.
But like he looks just like him, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't get over it. Ugh,
I can see it. I can see it.
I just couldn't stop.
That's kind of funny.
But this episode sucked.
It was not good. These 5 are not good. I'm hopeful for
Also-
the next 4.
Is Melody? That's not the original Melody, is it?
I did not think so, but I have no fucking clue.
And then it was so weird how the episode started, and it was like mainly focused on her, but like it was. This show has never, ever, ever, ever been focused on her.
It was focused on Val for like a very
Yeah, when
brief
she was
time.
getting with Archie, but that was it.
That was so weird to me.
I don't fucking know. But that is it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hopefully the next 5 are
4.
way-
16 through 19.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Hopefully these next 4 are a lot better, and the timelines clear up, and the storylines clear up, and they fucking finally connect or some shit, because I am over it.
Yep.
There's like 15 things I have to keep up with.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So anyways, that was that. We did not care for it. I hope it was as quick as we thought it was. I have no fucking clue.
I really hoped you enjoyed my book tea
Yes.
rather than these 5
Yes.
episodes.
And
Hopefully it gets a lot
now-
better.
I have some what the fuck news.
It's time for Miranda's What the Fuck News, and it's very what the fucky this time. Do
I-
you want to take a break before you say your news?
I don't know. My hiccups are getting better as I hiccup.
It's up to you. I don't mind you hiccuping.
Okay, I'm gonna just do it. So,
I'm gonna put my drink down so the ASMR doesn't pick it up.
I can't read the New York Times article again without paying for it.
Go to incognito.
Oh yeah, private mode.
Incognito. Anyways, guys, while Miranda looks up her story, well, not looks it up because she already knows it. Not knows it, but you know what I mean.
Okay,
Never mind.
it's in private mode. It's okay. There's not much to it, but basically, Ryan Grantham, who is in two episodes of Riverdale, he plays the man who kills Fred Andrews. Well, the son who kills Fred Andrews, but he has been charged with murder, and this is why I wish I could see the article, because he's going to jail, but I don't know for how long.
Who did he murder?
His mom. He killed his mother. But listen, this is where it gets what the fuck, Monica.
Oh, not killing your mom is what the fuck?
It was part of a higher plan she was gonna like rat him out or something on his whole plan. He killed her first because he was gonna go kill the Prime Minister of Canada.
What is wrong with people?
And he did not want her to rat him out or whatever.
What the actual shit?
So he killed her first. Then he didn't do the rest of his plan. He didn't kill anybody else he was gonna kill.
Oh my god,
He only killed his mother.
I feel so bad for laughing, but like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So it's not like a huge story.
But it's what the fuck?
Because it happened in 2020, so like the details are like.
And how was this?
I don't know. I don't really remember reading about this in 2020, but because it happened on like March 18th, like literally when we went into the pandemic.
That's what the fuck.
So he was gonna kill the fucking Prime Minister of Canada, which is where he lives. No big deal.
I don't understand. What is wrong with people?
No clue.
Again, talk to your therapist, please.
No clue.
Anyways, that's it for our what the fuck
Yep.
news of today. Join us next week where we finish season 5.
Yeah.
We finished season 5 on episode 12.
Oh, he got life in prison. Okay. He pled guilty, got life in prison.
You know life in prison is only 25 years.
Yeah, but this is so Canada. But anyways, yes.
I don't think that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. We should call it life. But
I got 2 years left.
oh my
And then I'm dead.
Oh no.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no fucking sense.
Well, 1 year basically. That's
yeah, that's what we got.
it. This episode fucking drained all my energy. Like, these past 5 episodes are like so draining for Riverdale. Like, ugh. I don't want to waste my energy on them right now.
No.
Anyways.
But we have 4 more left. Next week we'll wrap up season 5.
And then we'll start watching season 6.
Which means we only have 5 episodes of the Riverdale podcast left. So our last one will air Thanksgiving week, guys. We're super, super excited.
Oh, and we are planning on doing longer episodes in case y'all are traveling home.
During Christmas. So if there are movies you want us all to watch, like
Uh-huh.
funny Netflix Christmas movies, anything like that, we would love to hear your suggestions. Any books you want us to read, any shows you want us to do after Riverdale, because once we finish season 6, we won't come back to Riverdale for like a really long time because they're currently filming it,
Mm-hmm.
and we will not watch it until it's on Netflix, so we can continue breaking it down in the same manner we've been breaking it down.
Yeah, because we don't want to do it like week by week.
No.
Because we feel like that's going to be a lot. And we can't make like 30 minutes out of
one episode.
Yeah, no.
Especially if it was some of these episodes.
Yeah, like this,
So,
no.
we won't be back for almost a year because right now it's projected to hit Netflix in next October. So, we would love to hear what you want us to watch next, what you want us to read next, what is your favorite book.
Any tea that you have that you would...
Book tea, personal tea.
Anything you're fine with us talking about.
Yeah,
let
it
us
can
know.
be anonymous or whatever, just let us know.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, we won't blast
If you find
it.
any what the fuck news stories, send them our way.
Yes.
Like, we are here for it. Anything with the Florida man in the fucking title.
Yeah.
Let me
It can be
know.
the most obscure, or like last week we talked about Adam Levine and Ned.
Yeah.
So
Literally anything.
we just love to talk about drama. We don't want drama, but we love to talk about it. And yeah, you can find us on
you know this is my job here. You can find us on, I keep wanting to say Twitter. You can find us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at what the fuck is this _podcast. Once again, I'm one of your hosts, Monica,
And I'm Miranda.
and send us any recommendations or any tea.
We would love to hear it.
Catch you next Thursday.
Yes.